I stared at my phone, my hand trembling so badly I nearly dropped it. The text glowed on the screen, each word carving into me like a blade. LOL, you actually thought I'd cancel my Vegas trip for your surgery? For a moment I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. I just sat there in my hospital bed, and 4-needle in my arm, the steady beep of the heart monitor suddenly deafening. The words blurred through my tears. I read them again and again. This wasn't some random stranger's message. This was from my wife. The woman I'd promised to love through sickness and health. The woman who had sworn she'd always be there for me. And here I was, about to be wheeled into surgery the next morning, abandoned by the one person I thought I could rely on most. Chapter 1. The Breaking Point. When I married Sarah 7 years ago, I believed we were inseparable. She was vibrant, spontaneous, always chasing excitement. I was more grounded, steady, the kind of man who remembered anniversaries, who paid the bills on time, who kept his word. I thought we balanced each other. But balance only works when both people care about the weight they're carrying. I noticed the cracks months before this moment. Sarah had grown restless, irritated by my long work hours, by my lack of energy after days at the office. She started spending more weekends out with her friends, more late nights scrolling on her phone with a secretive smile. I told myself she just needed space, that I was being paranoid. But deep down I knew something was breaking. Still, nothing could have prepared me for this. For the absolute cruelty of that message, sent when I needed her most. Chapter 2. The Confrontation. Called her. She didn't answer. Called again. Straight to voicemail. So I texted back. Are you serious, Sarah? I'm about to have surgery. I could die on that table, and you're in Vegas. The typing bubbles appeared. Then disappeared. Then appeared again. Finally, her reply came. Don't be dramatic. It's a minor surgery. You'll be fine. My friends already paid for the trip. What was I supposed to do, back out? Besides, you have nurses and doctors. You don't need me hovering. My chest tightened. Not from the condition the doctors were operating on, but from something deeper. Something breaking. I called her again. This time she answered, her voice muffled by what sounded like music and laughter in the background. James, I can't talk long. We just checked in. You just checked in. My voice cracked. Sarah, I needed you here. You're my wife. Do you even hear yourself? She sighed, annoyed, as if I were inconveniencing her. Look, I told you I was going. You assumed I'd cancel. That's not on me. Not on you. I whispered, my throat burning. Do you even care what happens to me tomorrow? Of course I care, she said quickly, though her tone was flat. But you'll be fine. We'll talk when I'm back, okay? And just like that she hung up. Chapter 3. The Silence. The rest of the night dragged on like a punishment. The nurses were kind, but every cheerful smile felt like salt in an open wound. How could they know that while they checked my vitals and adjusted my marriage was crumbling silently around me? I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment of our life together. The late-night drives, the whispered promises, the wedding vows. Had any of it meant anything to her? Or had I been blind this whole time, desperate to believe in something that wasn't real? At 3 a.m., unable to take it anymore, I did something I never thought I'd do. I opened Sarah's laptop, which she'd left at home, synced with her cloud. What I found made my blood run cold. Hundreds of messages between her and her friends. Group chats full of mocking comments about me. How boring I was, how clingy, how she deserved better. Photos of her in Vegas, not just with her friends, but with a man I didn't recognize. Arms around each other. Drinks in hand. And then, the final nail. Finally free this weekend. No husband drama. Just fun, winky face. Chapter 4. The Decision. By dawn, something inside me had hardened. When the nurse came in to prep me for surgery, I told her I needed to postpone. She looked concerned, reminding me of the risks, but I shook my head. I can't do this right now, I said. Not until I put something else to rest first. I signed the forms, checked myself out against medical advice, and went home. My hands shook as I packed a bag. Not just clothes, documents, photos, anything I wanted to keep. I pulled the joint savings statements, the property deed, our insurance papers. Then I sat at the kitchen table and wrote her a note. Sarah, you made your choice. You chose Vegas. You chose them. So I'm choosing myself. When you come back, I won't be here. Don't bother calling. By then, the divorce papers will already be on their way. I left the keys on the counter, walked out the door, and for the first time in years I felt free. Chapter 5, The Fallout. 2 days later, after my surgery, which I had rescheduled with my brother sitting beside me instead of my wife, Sarah called. Dozens of missed calls, voicemails full of frantic, angry shouts. James, what the hell? The apartment's empty. Where are you? This isn't funny. You're overreacting. Call me back now. I didn't. Instead, I forwarded everything I'd found, the photos, the texts, the chat logs, to my lawyer. Within weeks, Sarah was served. And from what mutual friends told me, the man in Vegas hadn't stuck around. Just another thrill in a long line of reckless choices. But I didn't care anymore. Chapter 6. The Healing. It's been a year now. A year since that night in the hospital. Since that text shattered the illusion of my marriage. The scar from my surgery has healed. The scar she left. That one still aches sometimes. When I see couples holding hands in the park, when I hear someone laugh the way she used to, when I remember the man I used to be before betrayal carved him into someone else. But I'm stronger now. I've learned that love isn't proven in grand gestures or expensive trips. It's proven in the quiet moments, who shows up when you're at your lowest, who sits by your bed when you're sick, who holds your hand when the world feels like it's ending. Sarah failed that test. And me. Finally passed my own. Chose myself. Epilogue, the last message. Every once in a while, Sarah still tries to reach out. The last message I received from her was 2 weeks ago. I miss you. Can we talk? I made a mistake. I didn't reply. Because the truth is simple. She made her choice that night in Vegas. And I made mine when I walked away.